Hey everyone, I just wanted to jump on and talk a little bit about some of the controversy around diet in our healing communities. And I just posted some, interesting information on my course, and it got me thinking about how can I share that, on a larger scale. And a little bit about why my beliefs have shifted about diet over the years and kind of where that puts us. And I hate to see that it puts us at odds so much in our healing community, because I really do think that, everyone is so different, right? And I'm trying to think over the years, I'm like, why do some people respond to paleo and some people do carnivore and some people do raw vegan, and it works so differently for so many different people? So from a Western medical perspective, we can't really explain it, right? The closest thing I found from a Western medical perspective is the idea of like the blood type diet that was popular years ago, or just the idea of genetics and different people with epigenetics that do better with different foods, right? Especially related to things like cholesterol and blood pressure if it's genetic. But in order to truly understand it, I found myself going back to all the training I've done in the yoga world and Ayurvedic medicine, and friends I know that have really studied in depth with indigenous cultures and their concept of the body. So what I find at the base of all this is Western medicine looks at the body as just the body. It's just everyone has the body and we treat it the same, and we look at the symptoms and we attack the symptoms and we attack disease. And it's almost like that germ theory versus terrain theory, right? Of like, is it really the germ that makes us sick, or is it the way that our body is prepared to either fight an infection or be prone to an infection? And what's really interesting that I find super helpful is in Ayurvedic medicine, the concept of the three doshas, which are the three main energies that govern the universe, and they make up the three body types, which would be Vata, Pitta, and Kapha. Vata being more light and airy, and people who tend to be kind of cold and dry. Pitta being more about agitation or restlessness or anger, they tend to run hot. And Kapha being more earthy and calming and soothing, and tending to be maybe more oily or heavy set. And traditional Chinese medicine is similar. It looks at the 5 elements and how we have to find balance between yin and yang, masculine, feminine, light and dark, and then balancing out the elements. So related to wood, metal, fire, water, and I'm probably missing one, but if I say them again, I'm just going to probably leave the same one out. But in those ways of practicing medicine, which are ancient and have been practiced for thousands of years and are still the primary form of medicine in many countries, we see that prescriptions aren't made based on do this to treat disease. It's let's look at your individual body. Let's look at your constitution. Let's look at your body type and what imbalances might be going on that are causing you to be prone to illness, that are causing symptoms. We're getting a storm here, so hopefully it doesn't get too crazy as I'm talking, but I wanted to be outside. And so what's interesting about that, especially in Ayurveda, they have a lot of focus on food. So people who are Vata, who tend to be cold and kind of restless and airy, raw veganism for them adds a lot more cooling, light airiness to their body, so it can kind of further that imbalance. Whereas they might want more healing, soothing, oily and nourishing hot foods. And someone who is more Pitta, who has more of that like hot temper and hot disposition already, they aren't going to do very well with really hot, spicy foods. They might benefit more from something like a vegan diet or a raw vegan diet. And when we look at the idea too of the energy of foods, they look at Rajik and Tamasic and Sattvic. So we start to see this connection of the energetics of illness, the energetics of wellness, and then the energetics of our food. So if we're giving ourselves food that is helping to balance out our energy and the elements that we're dealing with, that is going to help us more with our healing journey. And so the biggest thing here is looking at where are the imbalances coming from and what do we need to do to heal the best. So if you can start to come more tapped in with your intuition and with what you believe is going on in your body, and tapping in with the stuff that maybe you're craving, that's going to give you more information on maybe what your body needs to heal and to restore balance with your unique individual body type. So just some thoughts I've had today, and that's why I get frustrated when there's so much debate in our community on what's the perfect healing diet and what should I be eating to heal, because I truly believe it's different for everyone. And that's why I believe I'm never going to doubt someone who says that carnivore healed them, just like I'm never going to doubt someone who says raw veganism healed them, because based on their body type and their energetics and their elements and their genetics, they're probably both right. So I really wanted to say this just to stop some of the division that we all have and to work more on understanding root cause and energetics and how that relates to our healing as a whole. So I'm going to go before the storm gets any worse. Was not expecting it to come on this suddenly. I hope you guys have an awesome day full of healing, and I'll talk to you soon.